What's next for the Outcasts? I mean, the stable was formed by three of the most talented, most notorious women on the AEW roster in Saraya, Toni Storm, and Ruby Soho. So you'd think that there would be bigger plans, better plans than what we're currently seeing out of this group, because all I've been seeing these past 3, 4, 6, 8 weeks is the same old trope, meaning one of the members of the Outcasts have a match. Ruby Soho, Saraya, Toni Storm, whoever. And it's normally against a homegrown star. Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale, somebody else. And then eventually they cheat. They get the win. By cheating, of course. And then they proceed to beat down their opponent, take out their little green spray cans, and proceed to spray a big L on their opponent. After which, somebody else, some other homegrown star, could be Rio, could be current AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter, could be DMD Britt Baker. They come out and make the save, and that's something we've been seeing on Dynamite and on Rampage on repeated occasions ever since Revolution. And even before that, even before Ruby Soho joined that stable, there has been little to no advancement of this storyline whatsoever since its formation. And the fact of the matter is, this stable has so much potential. It does. And the storyline does as well, because it's the stars, the superstars, the stars that WWE helped build and gave names to, and then they came over to AEW, and now they're up against the homegrown women's division in AEW, which again, made up by Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, Anna Jay, Julia Hart, Chris Statlander, amongst many more. So the potential is there, but the fact of the matter is, a storyline quite like this has a very, very bad history of not working, of not giving the results needed. And it's something that Tony Khan, I hope, is working on to make better, to help improve. Because back in 2000, they did that in WCW. The Millionaires Club against the New Blood. Billionaires Club against the New Blood, I believe. And it didn't work back then. It barely grasped anybody's attention back then, even though it had a ton of potential. Fast forward almost 10 years later, 2008, 2009, Main Event Mafia versus TNA's homegrown talent. Again, didn't work. Tons of potential to build up all the stars, all the Chris Sabins, the Alex Shellys, the Jay Lethals, and have AJ Styles and Samoa Joe finally take that final step that they need to truly become main event players in TNA, along with Sting and Kurt Angle and Booker T and Scott Steiner and Kevin Nash, and they could not make it happen. So again, I'm hoping that third time's the charm. Because it's been proven the women's division in AEW has gotten a whole lot better since these three women not only joined forces, but since they came into AEW, period. So what's next? What's next for the Outcasts? What's the catalyst that's really going to make the storyline stand out? And I have two options. One's already in the company, and one is a sought-over free agent. The one who's in the company is, I believe she's still the AEW the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion in Athena. She has a WWE past. She is a world champion. She is the leader of the division in Ring of Honor. So if you want to increase the attention on the Outcasts, if you want to increase their power in their division and really set them up big for blood and guts, might happen down the line, that's what you do. You have Athena join the stable. You have Athena join the group And then you can get Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Rio, and Chris, maybe a returning Chris Statlander down the line. 4-on-4, down the line, blood and guts, 8 women's tag team match. Doesn't matter. But you keep building upon that. You make it stronger by having Athena join in and do something different instead of beating down your opponents every single week with nothing changing. So that's option number one, and that's the easiest option because Athena is already a part of the AEW roster. Option number two is a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit more complicated because it would involve Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, joining the company. And then, obviously, joining the Outcasts as its true leader. Because you're going to bring somebody like Sasha Banks into the fold, Mercedes Moné into the fold, she has to be the leader. She has to be number one. And that's where the issue lies. That's where the issue lies because Mercedes Moné has stated in the past, in the very recent past, that she's not willing to sign up for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years with anybody right now. She's looking over her options and just enjoying her career for what it is. So she might work with AEW on a per match deal. You have big match here, big match there, big match there. You work with your big stars. That's it. Stop by for a little bit in AEW and then you leave. Of course, that doesn't benefit AEW as much because AEW is looking to lock her down to at least a 3-year contract, which Mercedes Moné will not agree to currently at this time in her career. So you got to fix that entire situation when it comes to bringing Mercedes Moné into the fold. But eventually, if you do, it'll pay off. Especially with Forbidden Door down the line. Especially with All In, where you're trying to sell out an entire stadium in Wembley. So with that said, I think those are the two best next options for the Outcasts to really garner people's attention instead of doing these repeated attacks. And hopefully, I said it before, Tony Khan, I'm wishing you the very best of success when it comes to this storyline. Because it's been proven in the past. It works for a bit, it works at the start, in the beginning, and then it falls apart during the end. And I'm hoping it does not happen with the Outcasts because I feel like this could really help build up a strong women's division for AEW for the next 3 or 5 years to come. So with that said, tune in later on tonight to Dynamite to see what else unfolds when it comes to the Outcasts and what else unfolds when it comes to AEW as a whole. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.